today we're going to talk about helping others wake up. Now, I know that many of you XJWs, many of you want to wake up people in your family. And, you try to show them the evidence and, but most of the time that doesn't work. And many times you wonder why that's not working. I'm showing them all this. I'm showing them how they refuse to see all these things that we were taught, and they're false. Well, I found out the answer eventually, having my own experience. I used to think it was about what's true. And I would run around trying to prove, see, look at this, look at that, you see, they said this, and here we find out they lied about this or that. But I had to give that up because it's not about what's true. It's about their belief. See, it's about their belief. So what's creating a lot of unhappiness and frustration when you're trying to convince them and so on and so forth, because I went through all of this, you just end up pushing against them. And you're pushing against, and it's hard, and it's because their belief is so entrenched. And so belief and what is true is two totally different things. For example, there are a group of people out there who are convinced that the earth is flat. Now, most of us have seen the evidence. We've seen the pictures, we've seen all the, they use all the special equipment to take pictures of the earth. And it's very clear that the earth is round. But these people in particular have a firm belief that the earth is flat. Doesn't matter who you bring around them, to try to convince them to say, look at the pictures, look at all these things they've discovered. But you're trying to change their belief. Belief is not about evidence or truth. This is the evidence I have, it's true, see? It's really about belief systems. Their belief system is so strong. So no matter how much evidence you produce, and you're wasting your energy on a fruitless task, trying to convince anyone of your own truth, you see. Because in essence, your belief is your own truth. And so because of that belief being so powerful, you're trying to make them believe in your truth, regardless of what their own truth is, their own belief. They really believe, so bringing it back to Jehovah's Witnesses, they really believe, many of them, that Armageddon is right here, is going to come and wipe out all the people who are not obedient and part of Jehovah's Witnesses. They really believe that. Why? Because most of them were taught that since birth. I was born in. I'm sure many of you, some of you listening, may have been born in also. But that belief was entrenched into our consciousness for decades. So you don't just get up and tell them, oh, change the belief now. That's garbage, blah, blah, blah. No, stop it. That's not helpful. Trying to change the belief can be very dangerous when you go around trying to change someone else's belief. It's going to cause you a problem. But once you just give that up, you'll be free. You won't have the stress of trying to prove to someone and trying to get them to change. You're trying to essentially change somebody. You can't change anybody. You can only change yourself. You see, they're walking along their own journey. They have their own path. It has nothing to do with you. And in addition to that, trying to change someone's belief, I want to compare it to a building. Trying to change someone's belief is like trying to change the foundation. You can't just go get into a building and change the foundation around. The whole building would crumble if you tried to do that. And that foundation is rock solid, entrenched. Especially when you've been believing it your whole life. No, that would be like trying to change someone's foundation, or trying to change the foundation in a building would be equivalent to there being an earthquake. It would take a seismic shift in that person's foundation, and that person's foundation would be shaken to its very core. And when you do something like that, the results can be devastating. So we don't want to cause or try to cause a seismic shift in someone. But trying to do that, first of all, causes you frustration and wouldn't be very healthy for the other person if they actually did succumb to that belief like overnight. So don't spend your energy on that. Because if you keep trying to get someone to change, it's just going to make you feel bad, make you feel angry and frustrated and annoyed. It's best to just give that up. Make the changes in your own life. A seismic shift of that magnitude would be like that person having a mental earthquake. That's not a good idea. The whole foundation of that person would unravel. It could unravel in unpredictable ways. And you wouldn't want that. You don't want to destroy the relationship. And you can do that if you keep insisting and resisting and pushing against. But what you can do is plant a seed. Come back and maybe sometimes that seed will take root. And if so, then go plant another seed. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I like elephants, so don't try to do that. So with a person, start small. Don't ask for a giant shift, because as I said before, it could destroy your relationship. And even if they were to try to do a seismic shift overnight, it could destroy them mentally and emotionally. They could have a nervous breakdown from something like that, trying to absorb the fact that they've been lied to for so many years, or were fed mistruths, or were misled, to put it nicely. If you love him, just leave it, come back, plant the seed, and just do it one step at a time. The kindest thing to do is to just plant a seed. I know I'm living proof. I had this thing going for decades. Some people were more deeply entrenched, but thankfully, as I got older, my critical thinking began to kick in pretty strong at a young age. Some people, their critical thinking doesn't kick in. If their critical thinking does not kick in, oh boy, they get deeper and deeper into that hole. I was digging into that hole, but then I stopped and said, you know what? I'm not going down this rat hole. Let me get up on out of here. That's right. I started anew, and I don't care how old you are. You can start anew. You can start anew at any time. It doesn't matter your age. Don't make excuses. That's just an excuse. Oh, I'm too old. Oh, yeah? Why don't you go on YouTube and look up the 92-year-old gymnast? You think she thinks she's old? Oh, no. Or ask Robert Marchand. In 2017, he was 105, and he was still riding his bike. He has since passed, but he lived to be 109. He wasn't thinking, oh, I'm too old at 105. He didn't say, oh, I'm too old to ride a bike. You have people around here who are not even half that age, who stopped walking and barely walking and all this stuff. Yeah. You're not too old, unless you think so. And you believe, if that's your belief, again, we come back to beliefs. If that's your belief, okay, then you are too old. Right. I wouldn't encourage that, by the way. What I would encourage you to do is to really examine what it is that you believe about yourself. Make a list. I wrote down my list. This is a list from years ago, but I wrote it down and I went back over it because I came across it the other day and I said, oh my goodness. I rewrote my list just this past week. And it's amazing because I am amazing. And so are you. You are amazing. And that is my belief. You are amazing. Now, if you don't believe that, then you've got some work to do. It's a challenge. It's okay. You really are amazing. Every creature on this planet, this universe, the infinite intelligence, whatever you want to call it, it is amazing. You just haven't discovered it yet. That's all. You haven't discovered it yet. So some of you are on the path to discovering that. And that's beautiful. It's a beautiful place to be. But for those of you who have not discovered it, really examine yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I'm an amazing person. And I just didn't know it. So give yourself credit for having come this far in your precious journey and in your precious life. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Have a beautiful day. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. And remember, tap that notification bell so you'll be notified when I post new content.